Hold up. Did a judge just put a freeze on all of Jackie Christie's assets? Oh, you thought the story was over when she walked out of that courtroom with her designer shades and that I'm unbothered smirk? Think again, because guess who just spilled everything? Chris Webber and Chantel. Yep, two people who know Jackie better than her own mirror. And let's just say what they revealed has the entire industry shaking like wire. Offshore accounts in Jackie's name are suddenly surfacing. Why did luxury cars start disappearing from her mansion in the dead of night? And why is there talk that this isn't just about money, but about manipulation, lies, and maybe even a federal investigation? We're talking about the same Jackie Christie who once said, "I control my empire." Well, honey, the empire just got put on ice by a judge who apparently had enough receipts to open a department store. Is this karma cashing in? Or is someone setting Jackie up to take the ultimate fall? Buckle up, because what Chris and Chantel just unloaded isn't a tea spill. It's a full-blown legal hurricane. And trust us, you've never seen Jackie like this before. It all started with a look. A cold, silent stare exchanged between two people once considered the backbone of black celebrity, Jackie Christie and Chris Webber. But what unfolded in that courtroom last week sent shockwaves through not just Hollywood, but the entire sports and entertainment industry. The judge's words were short but devastating. All known assets belonging to Miss Jackie Christie will be officially frozen until further notice. A sentence that cracked open a box of secrets so wide, even Chantel, her own daughter, couldn't keep quiet any longer. For months, rumors had been swirling about Jackie's financial dealings. Whispers of silent partnerships, shell companies in Barbados, strange wire transfers, and luxury properties that didn't match her visible income. But nothing was concrete. Until Chris Webber walked in with a sealed folder. Eyewitnesses say even the judge paused when he glanced inside. Whatever was in that folder flipped the case on its head. Jackie's legal team went from confident smirks to frantic whispers in under 60 seconds. The courtroom gasped when Chantel took the stand. She wasn't originally on the witness list, but after seeing the evidence Chris presented, she requested to speak under oath. "She taught me how to hide money before she taught me how to drive," Chantel said, her voice steady. She always said, "Power isn't in what you earn, it's in what no one can trace." That single sentence became the headline of every major outlet in under an hour. Sources close to Doug Christie say he's shattered by what's coming out. But what's even more chilling, he might have known all along. Insiders allege that Doug acted as a silent notary on several financial documents that Jackie used to acquire out-of-country property under false names. And while he's not being charged yet, the spotlight is beginning to shift. Behind the scenes, investigators had already been working quietly. They began tracking Jackie's financial footprints months ago, triggered by a suspicious investment tip linked to a now-defunct tech company. That tip led them to a network of LLCs and offshore accounts, all with indirect ties to Jackie Christie's known associates. What made it worse? One of those accounts was allegedly used to pay hush money to someone identified only as ML, a person the internet now believes could be a media personality or a former assistant. But the real twist came when the judge received an anonymous video file just 3 days before the asset hearing. The footage, never shown to the public, allegedly includes Jackie on a phone call saying, "If they trace it back to me, we're all done. Erase everything." Audio experts have verified the voice matches Jackie's vocal signature. And just like that, the judge had enough to freeze everything. Luxury cars gone. Multiple homes locked by federal order. Even her joint accounts with Doug Christie and a separate account tied to Chantel's college fund, all frozen. Meanwhile, Chris Webber's motives for coming forward are now under the microscope. Some claim he's seeking justice. Others think it's personal. He and Jackie were once tight business partners in multiple ventures, including a boutique management firm that mysteriously dissolved without trace in 2019. That firm, by the way, is now being looked at for its role in unusual revenue handling, according to a leaked email from the IRS division handling the investigation. Still, the internet is split. Some fans believe Jackie is being set up, a powerful black woman being punished for playing the same game white moguls have played for decades. But others say the signs were always there. The lavish gifts, the constant talk of empire building, the obsessive need to control every detail of her image. It all fits the profile of someone who might have something to hide. Back in court, Chantel dropped one more bomb before stepping down. There's a ledger in the Tahoe house. It's in the floorboards beneath the hallway mirror. It has every name, every payment, every deal. If you want the truth, go get it. The room went silent. Even Jackie looked like the blood drained from her face. And within hours, federal agents were seen at the Tahoe property, crowbars in hand. All this begs one haunting question. How long has Jackie been building this secret empire? And more importantly, how many people helped her do it? Because let's be real, someone had to help her move those funds, set up those accounts, draft those dummy contracts. We're talking about a coordinated operation that took years to build. And someone else out there knows exactly how it was done. Insiders close to the investigation now believe another celebrity could be quietly cooperating with authorities. This unnamed person reportedly provided backup files, emails, texts, bank slips, and if that's true, then Jackie Christie's empire might not just be frozen, it might be finished. Signed agreements. They're currently in witness protection until the next hearing, which is set to expose even deeper layers of Jackie's network. And right when we thought it couldn't get crazier, Jackie herself requested to make a public statement. Her team is scrambling to schedule a sit-down interview with a major network, but the court has temporarily barred her from media appearances until further notice. What's going to happen when she finally speaks? That's where things pick up next. While Jackie remains legally silenced, whispers around her legal team suggest she's preparing a counterattack, not just a defense, but a full-on exposure campaign targeting those she believes set her up. Sources inside her circle say Jackie has recorded phone calls, emails, even video recordings of past conversations with both Chris Webber and Chantel, some of which may contain explosive content that could flip public opinion overnight. But here's the twist. Jackie's team can't release those files without violating the gag order. That's exactly what's driving her lawyers into overdrive, pushing for a motion that would allow her to defend herself publicly in light of irreversible media damage. Meanwhile, Chris Webber has gone completely silent. No interviews, no statements, no tweets. People close to him say it's not guilt, but strategy. One insider revealed, Chris didn't just wake up and come to court. He's been building this case against Jackie for over a year. He's not done, he's just getting started. And Chantel? She's gone into hiding after her shocking courtroom confession. Paparazzi swarmed her Los Angeles apartment within hours. She was seen boarding a flight. Destination unknown. Her social media has been deactivated, and multiple outlets confirm she's now under protective legal custody, fearing retaliation from Jackie's more devoted associates. But here's what's most alarming. New footage just leaked from an unnamed source. It shows what appears to be Jackie Christie having a heated conversation with someone believed to be a foreign banker. In the clip, Jackie can be heard saying, "If the U.S. comes knocking, you better lose the files, every last one. I don't care who asks." Experts have yet to verify the full authenticity, but voice print analysis is underway. This clip might just be the final nail in the coffin. And yet, Doug Christie still hasn't said a word. Not in public, not in court, not even through a statement. Fans are torn between viewing him as a silent victim or a complicit partner. But here's the catch. Someone on the federal task force confirmed that Doug's name appears on at least 3 documents tied to offshore entities. These documents, now in federal hands, could either clear him or crush him, depending on what he knew and when he knew it. In fact, according to a confidential leak, Doug's signature appears next to a coded transaction labeled Sunset Drop A7. Financial analysts believe this refers to a real estate laundering scheme run through a dummy investment group in Turks and Caicos. The amount? $66 million, wired in 4 parts over 6 months. That's not pocket change, that's operation money. And the timeline matches perfectly with the birth of Jackie's so-called wellness brand, which has now been exposed as a shell company used primarily to funnel cash through merchandise that was never actually produced. The paper trail is stacking up fast. But Jackie's team isn't backing down. In fact, they just filed a motion accusing Chris Webber of weaponizing sealed documents and violating unwritten confidentiality agreements from their past ventures. If the court accepts it, this could delay the freeze or even reframe the narrative as a business dispute gone nuclear. Meanwhile, deep in the background, another name has entered the scene, a woman named Valerie Grant. She's a forensic accountant who's worked with both the FBI and the Department of Justice on multiple celebrity money laundering cases. She's now officially part of the case. Insiders claim Valerie has already discovered inconsistencies in at least 2 of Jackie's real estate acquisitions. And if Valerie gets subpoena power, and she will, Jackie's entire empire could be unraveled brick by brick. Even more shocking, a second anonymous video was received by local news. This one allegedly shows Jackie in a warehouse with Doug and an unknown third man, pointing at boxes labeled inventory. But when investigators traced the warehouse address, it was empty, vacant since 2021. No product, no shipments, just paper, lots of paper, empty packaging, staged photo props, and fake invoices printed with ghost company names. Now, law enforcement isn't just investigating financial crime. They're investigating fraud, racketeering, and potentially wire fraud at an international level. That brings in the FBI, IRS, and even Interpol. Multiple sources confirm that at least 4 other individuals tied to Jackie's businesses have been served with subpoenas. One of them, a former assistant who allegedly handled private accounts, has agreed to testify in exchange for partial immunity. And her testimony could be the bombshell that takes everything down. She claims Jackie maintained a separate digital ledger on an encrypted tablet hidden in a safe behind a fake bookcase in her Los Angeles home. That tablet allegedly contains names, routing numbers, code names, and payment plans tied to at least 9 celebrities. Now, investigators are trying to determine if Jackie was moving money for others or simply keeping tabs on her inner circle to maintain power and silence. But perhaps the most chilling part of all this is what wasn't said. During the last closed-door hearing, the judge made a cryptic remark. If what's in those files is true, this case goes far beyond Jackie Christie. We're talking national implications. Reporters say everyone in the courtroom froze. National implications? What could Jackie possibly have been involved in that would send ripples through the entire country? Political donations, tax haven operations, celebrity extortion. No one knows for sure, but sources now suggest that a sealed grand jury is being quietly formed in Washington, D.C., and Jackie Christie's name is on the list. And just when we thought the drama couldn't escalate further, another name is rumored to be involved: Benzino. Word on the street is that his name appears in 2 of the offshore communications uncovered by the IRS probe. If that's true, this case could explode into an all-out celebrity scandal, dragging in names from music, reality TV, and even corporate sponsorship deals. Jackie's empire is crumbling by the hour, and yet, she hasn't cracked publicly. But according to one close friend, she's privately told those around her, "I built this from nothing. If I go down, I'm not going alone." And that right there, that warning, is what everyone's afraid of. Because if Jackie Christie decides to talk, she might just bring the entire industry to its knees. Jackie's inner circle, once loyal, once untouchable, has started to crack. One by one, former business partners, assistants, and even extended family members are flipping. Some for immunity, others just to distance themselves from the chaos. But the effect is the same, a flood of new evidence that paints a picture far darker than anyone imagined. According to leaked testimony, Jackie Christie allegedly ran a multi-tiered laundering system, not just through her businesses, but through celebrity-run charities, fake wellness tours, and influencer brand deals. The scheme used public donations and event revenue as clean funds, then funneled cash through offshore accounts, art pieces, and fake endorsements. One of the most shocking allegations? Jackie allegedly helped certain stars wash money made through under-the-table brand collaborations, never taxed, never tracked. And it gets worse. Evidence now links at least 3 influencers from major platforms directly to Jackie's coded payments, each paid through a series of transfers disguised as consulting fees and media royalties. Meanwhile, media networks are circling like sharks. CNN, TMZ, The Shade Room, and even BBC News have started compiling digital timelines showing Jackie's rise and her potential fall. One outlet even ran the headline, "The Queenpin of Reality TV, Jackie's Empire," or Jackie's Empire of Lies? And the pressure is showing. Jackie has now missed a scheduled court appearance, citing medical complications. But insiders claim she's simply afraid. Afraid that the moment she enters court again, she'll be served a criminal indictment. And that fear isn't unfounded. Because according to fresh documents filed by the Department of Justice, a formal indictment is pending. Charges may include conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, racketeering, obstruction of justice. If convicted, Jackie Christie could face up to 45 years in federal prison. But perhaps the most shocking twist yet, Doug Christie has finally broken his silence. In a brief but emotional statement, Doug said, "I believed in my wife. I stood by her every step of the way. But I will not go down for crimes I didn't commit. I am cooperating fully with federal investigators." And just like that, Doug flipped. He's now working with authorities, handing over files, emails, login credentials, and even a personal flash drive that may contain years of encrypted correspondence. That drive, if decrypted, could expose a complete map of the laundering operation, including dates, partners, and cash flows. Now, the focus shifts to Doug's motive. Was he protecting Jackie or protecting himself all along? Either way, the walls are closing in. Inside the courtroom, the judge has now frozen all known assets tied to Jackie's name, including properties, accounts, investment shares, and even royalties from previous shows. One legal analyst called it a strategic move to choke her empire before it regenerates. But what shocked everyone was what was found in Jackie's safety deposit box. Inside were 5 unregistered phones, a foreign passport under an alias, a USB stick labeled Z-Contracts. Early reports suggest these files contain undisclosed deals with music producers, real estate partners, and even names from the NBA, including one player still active in the league. If that's true, this case just crossed into unprecedented territory. Meanwhile, Chantel, now under full witness protection, has begun her second wave of testimony. She's told prosecutors that Jackie once held secret meetings in Las Vegas, where she allegedly orchestrated offshore partnerships with shell companies posing as fashion distributors. Even worse, Chantel says Jackie had a habit of recording all those meetings, just in case someone ever turned on her. Those tapes may still exist, and if located, they could become the most explosive evidence in the case. Operation Crystal Veil by federal agents, a name symbolic